30 points higher for the Nifty, 8,170. Not exactly at the day's high, but in and around that level. One would say that this is a decent day so far, but yesterday was similar, but in the second half you did see selling pressure coming in. So let's just wait and watch. Remember, today was the IDFC block deal, Bharat Forge block deal, there is MSCI rebalancing. So I don't think there is going to be any shortage of volumes in the market. NBFC space has been in the focus because of what's happening on the demonetization side. Let's welcome in the management at Muthoot Finance. George Alexander Muthoot, MD at Muthoot Finance, is now joining us. Sir, if you could just tell us what has been the impact of demonetization. Is it having a big impact on the company's normal operations?
Yeah, thank you. The impact has been is waning. The impact is waning. We had little impact or substantial impact in the first 2 days, first 3 days, and now it is becoming more and more normal. Today we are able to maintain 60% of our pre-monetization advances and maybe around 50 to 60% of our releases also. So that is the advance and release. The third part is the interest collection. For us, since there is no EMI, equated monthly installment payment, there is only interest payment. Interest payment being very small part of the loan, that repayments are almost happening because we are encouraging customers to use the online systems of payment like the RTGS, NEFT, and also the web pay. So interest collections are almost normal. Probably you can say 75 to 80% of the interest is being paid, serviced properly even now. As the currency improves, as the currency availability improves, we should see more and more pickup in the advances and releases. Today, when we say 50 to 60% of normal advances and releases are happening, a majority of it is through the online payments, and maybe 25% of these 60% is through the cash, the current cash which is available with the public. That is increasing every day. That is what we see.
Right. Do you expect things to normalize pretty soon, say in the next till 30th of December when the deadlines are? Yeah. Probably 15-20 days after that, you expect things to normalize?
I think by the next 4 to 5 weeks, things should normalize. Normalize in the sense the availability of currency with the public should improve. For us, the loans are generally average ticket size is only 40,000. So generally people come with the normal currency, and once the currency availability with the public improves, it should be back to normal. That's what we should see. By the end of December or first week of January, things should almost normalize. Maybe 85 to 90% things should normalize and settle at that time. And I feel that at that time, the customer confidence, the public confidence that currency availability will not be a problem is the big sentiment which is affecting people now. Whoever has some currency also, sometimes they are holding a little bit of it, just because they are not sure of the currency availability. But after December, when people get the perception that currency will be available, that sentiment improves, I'm sure this will come back to normal.
Right. How would you look at what's happening on the microfinance side? Do you have any exposure to that side of the market?
No, we don't have a microfinance exposure, but we have invested in a company which is having a microfinance exposure. It has about 400 to 450 crores of portfolio. It's a new one. But when we have been talking to them, they have already collected checks, and they inform that they have not had any substantial impact on their microfinance. That's a very small portion of our investment. We have invested about 60 crores in that company.
Right, so I was not particularly trying to understand about the impact on your company, but overall in the microfinance space, you get a sense that the impact also may not be as high as what the fear is?
Yes, but definitely microfinance will not have much impact, but compared to gold loan companies where we have the collateral with us, we are at a better footing, but microfinance may be a slightly less advantaged than a gold loan company.
In terms of the overall gold, the loans that you've given, what sort of correction would tend to worry you in terms of gold prices?
Gold prices, I don't think, because today we are giving only the maximum of 75% of the current price of gold is what we give as LTV, loan to value, and average is only 70%. So we definitely have a big cushion of this. But over the last 1 year, we have been asking our customers to pay up the interest maybe monthly, quarterly, etc. So whatever people have been paying monthly or bi-monthly or in once in 2 months may get impacted by another 1 or 2 months. But still, since we have the collateral with us, we are not concerned in that respect. So to answer your question about the impact of gold prices, our average gold loan to value is only 70%, so we have a good cushion of 30%, and the interest servicing is also much better than what it was about a year or 2 years back.
Right. How would you look at the funding cost now with rates coming down in the system for the entire sector? You think funding cost will reduce?
That's the sense I get, is that the funding cost should come down by, our cost of borrowing should come down by 50 to 100 basis points in the next 1 or 2 months is what that sense I get. So even if that comes down, we generally pass on that benefit to our customers. So our yield also, we actually tweak it down when our funding cost comes down. So we try to maintain about 10% net interest margin is what we try to maintain. If funding cost comes down, we generally pass it on to our customers. That is what we have been always doing.
Right, but it tends to give a better push, because when you reduce the rates, the demand increases.
Yeah, when we reduce our rates, we are able to better compete even with the banks. Otherwise, our competitors in the gold loan market are the money lenders. But having said that, the money lenders, for them, the rural money lenders, etc., they may have a problem because they are not very much in tune with the online payments, where we have now started the online payments like web pay, RTGS, IMPS, etc. That may not be the case with the small money lenders. So there can be an impact on their business. And as far as banks are concerned, they have been, I think they are not very much keen on gold loans, but they maintain the gold loan portfolio. They are not aggressive on the gold loan portfolio. So overall impact I see is gold loan companies, the organized gold loan companies stand a better chance vis-a-vis the banks as well as the money lenders when things get better in the next 1 or 2 months.
Right. In terms of overall NBFC space, it was in a sweet spot. Do you think that sweet spot continues, but there may be just some delay in the earnings?
But I think if you take the NBFC space, yes, I think the companies with EMIs may face a little bit of concern, but gold loan companies and like us who do not have this EMI business, the impact may be very marginal. Overall, NBFCs where there is EMI, even because of the 2 months holiday or 2 months NPA classification which RBI has given, this has been misinterpreted by some people to think as a holiday, etc. So EMI people may have a little concern, but gold loan companies, yes, I don't think, because there is no EMI, it may not have that impact.
Right. What is the sort of impact that you expect on the loan demand overall in the rural areas? In the near term, it may take a hit because of liquidity shortage, or it will actually increase?
It may not increase in the near term, because as I said, just as the advances are only 60%, the releases are also only 60%. So net, the AUM may not come down. But yes, the business to pick up may take another 2 months. And as I said earlier, pickup would happen better for gold loan companies when the currency availability improves, because other loans people may be a little reluctant to give as well as to take other loans. But gold loan being collateralized loan and easily available, gold loan I feel would have a better chance once the currency availability improves in the market.
Right. For small ticket size loans, you would also be giving cash. Do you think that will convert into banking transactions, and that's why the number of takers may reduce?
No, not because of that. Takers may not reduce because our loans are average. It goes about from 5,000 to 1 lakh and 2 lakhs, etc. Average is only 40,000. People still will use cash. People will still need cash. So that component will definitely be there. But some people may migrate or maybe start using the other e-payment systems, which we feel also there is a little pickup in that, but it will not be 100%. I'm sure even in the cash section also, where today we are being given 70% of our advances are in cash, it will come down to maybe 60 or 50 or 40. But still, that cash component and people taking in cash and repaying in cash will definitely be there, especially with the type of customers we are dealing. And cash is not something which is not going to go away from the market. Cash will be there and people will be using cash also.
Right. Mr. Muthoot, thank you so much for explaining us what has been the impact. Muthoot Finance is now down about 1% or so. Taking a break, back in 2 minutes.